Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pig. We back again. So I just wanted to do a quick kind of introduction to what you guys are going to see in reference to the SEAP section. As you guys know, I was in the SEAP program, and it lasted for about month and a half to about 2 months. So what I tried to do was I tried to capture as much of the process as it was happening, kind of not necessarily live, but I tried to record as much as I could and get my reactions as they were happening. So I'm going to kind of, put together a little, collage or montage or whatever the right phrase is of the videos all together. So I kind of just wanted to intro that, and you'll kind of see that as it happens. And then also I will give my thoughts and my views and my opinions, kind of my review on the SEAP process. So stay tuned for that. Here's kind of, a high-level overview, kind of my experience and how it works. So you first have to apply specifically for the SEAP program. Matter of fact, let me step back just a bit. To SEAP, Self-Employment Assistance Program, that's handled by the unemployment part of for New York State, for the New York State Labor Department, pretty much requires that you have to be, for this program, you have to be pretty much laid off. And then when you're laid off, you have to go through the whole process now, where they're pretty much really strict with going to training classes and helping you do job searches and making you come into the career center, to really get you back on your feet. It's not the worst thing in the world, but for those of us who are, more, career people and have, really held, like technology type jobs, I didn't find the career center to be, that beneficial, but, that was just me. And even the guy I was working with said, I'm probably not really going to be much of a help for you. And he got me out of there real quick. But it seems that, that's a requirement now that everybody has to go through. And, there were people from all walks of life and all kind of careers that were there, from graphic designers to, regular guys who were, cleaning up in hotels and stuff like that. So you'll pretty much get an email, not an email, you'll pretty much get a letter in the mail, saying if you would be a good candidate for SEAP, based off of your career and, what job you held beforehand. And I got the letter, kind of tossed it to the side, but then kind of revisited about a few days later, when I was like, you know what, I have a business idea that I really want to get off the ground. So you pretty much have to apply for it. You'll log in to the same login that you use for claiming your unemployment benefits. And then you log in, and then employment services, you'll see the self-employment assistance program, click on that. And then you click on, start an application. And so you're pretty much required to at least have a business idea of something that you want to pursue. Not, okay, I have 5 ideas and I want to do one. You have to pretty much have an idea for a specific one. And you pretty much just enter it high level. It's pretty much just going to ask you, what's your business idea? What, do you, have any experience in that? Which is not really necessary, but, they're going to ask anyway. So once you do that, you submit the form and then you wait. I think it took about maybe a week or so. I thought it was going to be much quicker, but it took about a week. And then I got an email alert saying, congratulations, you've been accepted into New York State Department of Labor's Self-Employment Assistance Program. And we are looking forward to working with you on your business venture. And then you get these benchmark forms, and you pretty much get an outline of target dates that you need to meet, and they're really serious about these dates. So I got this email back on January 20th. my first form was doing on February 18th, and then pretty much, you can see the dates here on when they were due after that. So I was super excited about it, and then kind of tossed it to the side, and then until I was really close to this February 18th date, and then I really had to get on the ball. So for the first one, and you'll see like they're really serious about these dates. So the individual service plan, business strategy, individual progress report, and verification form. So for the first one that was due on pretty much almost a month later, a little shy of a month later, was the individual services plan. And for this one, you need to pretty much outline the training that you're going to take. So you enter the last 4 of your Social Security, you enter your name, and then you enter the training and workshops that you're going to take. You're required to take at least 20 hours of training. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go and research the training opportunities near you, whether it's SCORE, whether it's SBA, whether it's SBDC. You're going to have to find a training, and they can be online training, and it can also be in-person training. They recommend in-person training, just for the networking aspect of it, and just, talking to other people and getting feedback from other people. I found it to be really helpful. So you're going to have to fill it out with the training, with the name of the class, the date of the class, and the number of hours. If it's an hour training, hour and a half. If it's a 2-hour training, I found that the Small Business Development Center training was about 2 hours, whereas the SCORE training was about an hour and a half. The online training, if you have to do that, is about 30 minutes. So you have to pretty much fill in. It has to be 20 hours. You don't have to take them by the time you need to submit the plan, but you need to at least have them all mapped out when you submit it back to the Department of Labor on your target date. This is my date was the 18th. Your target date obviously is going to be different, but you have to have 20 hours of training filled in. And it can't be training for something specific to your business. I found that out the hard way also. I had my training as I went and found a 2-day 16-hour screen printing class, and they were like, no, that's way too specific. It needs to be stuff like marketing. It needs to be stuff like HR, different business-related training, general business-related training. So you need to do that and send it in by the 18th. They're serious about that date also, because if you miss your date, you're not going to get your unemployment insurance for that week. So you need the individual service plan, which is pretty much telling them which training you're going to take. Then you have your business strategy, which you need to do, which you're going to talk about what products or services you're going to take. Matter of fact, this isn't the next one. Matter of fact, let me go back. So the next one I need to do was individual. These are out of order. The individual progress report. Individual progress report. And for this one, you need to this is pretty much where you are. What tasks that you need. These are the tasks, the list of activities and the tasks that you need to complete. And you're pretty much saying either I completed it, or here's my projected date for completing this task. And you can also put if the task isn't applicable applicable for the business you're trying to set. And any comments you could write, where you are with it, open a business account. I didn't complete the task yet. I think I'm going to complete it by X date. And any comments, I'm waiting until I, finish setting up my LLC or my corporation. That's the kind of thing you need to put in here. Again, everything doesn't need to be done by the time you need to submit it by your target date, but you do have to fill it out to and this really keeps you on track, for your plan. So that's the second form that you need to fill out and have sent back to them a couple of weeks after the individual services plan. And then the next thing I needed to send back was the individual services verification form. And this one, you actually need to, what you need to do for this is those classes that you said you're going to take for your individual services plan. So these classes that you said you're going to take for the individual service verification form, what they're doing is they're verifying that you took that training, that you took that class. So you're going to put in this, I'm taking XYZ class, which you had on this plan, taking XYZ class, and then it's on this date. Dates can change because I had some classes that the dates were pushed back because of snowstorms and nor'easters and things like that. And they really don't hold you to it. You just have to take a class from the SBA, SBDC, and SCORE. And what you have to do is, and they keep you honest, after the class, you have to go to the instructor and have them sign that you were there. And you can put in the number of hours that it was. If it was an hour and a half, it was a marketing class that was given by SCORE, but you have to have the person giving the training sign it. And they're all familiar with SEAP. So you won't have any pushback. They won't look at you like you have three heads. They'll take it and they'll ask you, hey, how's it going? How's your business? Most of them said, I wish that this existed when I started my business, because a lot of them actually started the business, when they were laid off also. And they're all of the instructors I had were all SEAP. We're all SCORE or SBA mentors. So they're all familiar with the process. So, and they were all super helpful, super nice. So, but you have to have them sign this form. Then what I needed to do next was, matter of fact, let me go back. For individual services plan, you need to make 10 copies. At least you need to make multiple copies of this, because each class, you have to have 20 hours of training. And so for the most part, the course that you take is only going to be about 2 hours or hour and a half. So you're going to need to have multiple copies of this. And for a little tip, a little trick that, thank God that I did, because I made multiple copies and I left them in the car just because, I didn't want to forget them. I didn't want to forget about them, and I left them in the car. Thank God I did, because there were times when I got the alert from my phone, the reminder that I had in the calendar that I had a class, totally didn't think about, making sure that I grabbed, a copy of this individual services verification form. Thank God I left them just sitting in the back seat, because when I got to the class, which some of these classes were about 30, 40 minutes away from my house, and got to class right on time and forgot my form. So thank God that I had them sitting in the back seat. And I'm telling you, if you're in this program, make extra copies. Just leave them in your glove compartment. Leave them somewhere in your car so you don't forget them. I don't know what happens if you don't, but you don't want to be in a position where you're trying to track down an instructor later and they're not sure if you really can. I didn't want to be in that position. You don't want to be in that position. Make extra copies. Make at least 20 copies of this just to have and keep in your car. You're not going to need all 20, but hey, it's good to have them just in case. Okay, so after that, so you're going to need to basically send on your whatever your target date is, you're going to need to get at least 10 hours of those trainings. You're going to need to, I PDF them. I have an app, Cam Scanner. Just took the picture with my phone, combined them with Cam Scanner, put them all in one, and made sure that it totaled at least 10 hours. I think I went over on the first one. I think it was like 11 hours or 10 and a half hours. But you need to have at least a minimum of 10 hours of training that you need to send back to the Department of Labor's SEAP unit, to meet this goal. And after you do that, the next thing I needed to do was, forms that I needed to fill out was the business strategy. Now, by the time you get to this point, you should have already met with your mentor. You have to at least meet with the mentor at least 2 times. So I met with my mentor, I think, really quickly after I met the first goal of sending back, because I just wanted to get started. So I met with the mentor, and matter of fact, you'll see it in the same video. Expectations were pretty low, but really had a great time with my mentor. And what my mentor said was, again, they're all familiar with this program, all familiar with this process. And so what he said was, this document is actually, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. This document, the business strategy, is pretty much almost like a business plan, and it's kind of long. I think it's like 8 or 9 pages. And what he said was, go through it as much as you can, fill it out, and then on our second meeting with my business mentor, he said, we'll go over it. And, I'll give you any feedback, anything, that you need to, to kind of correct or anything that you need to really, pull out, or go over in more detail. And, we'll fill it out together, and then, I'll sign it, and then you can say, because this thing is like 9 pages, and it's pretty much like a business plan where you have to say where your business is located, what kind of equipment do you need, who's supplying the equipment, what's the cost, who are your potential customers, where are you buying your supplies from, who's your lawyer, who's your insurance agent, how much cash you have on hand. It's pretty much like a business plan, that you have to fill out. And I'm sorry for scrolling like that. But by the end of it, your business counselor, your business mentor is going to need to pretty much sign off on it. And he or she is going to need to give feedback on, where you are and, if they think you will be, successful in your, in your endeavor. So this was, I pretty much filled mine out and met with my mentor, and I thought it was airtight, and he did have some things he corrected, but, he did give me a lot of good feedback, told me that, I'm really on track, really focused, and, he doesn't see any reason why the business shouldn't, succeed. So, I left there, super excited, but again, fill that out. You're going to have to really give this thought. This really isn't like a fly-by-night program. If you're really serious about starting a business, this really is a good way to go. So that's pretty much the longest document, a form that I had to fill out. After that was just the remaining 10 hours of the 20 hours of training that I needed to take. And again, there was nor'easters and stuff going on during my process. So I needed to fill in training via the Small Business Development Corps website. So I needed to do training via SBA and SBDC, which in like 30-minute increments, but they were also pretty good in the fact that you can always come back and revisit it. You always have the information right there. So, I did appreciate and like that fact. So I took most of my training. So most of the training I took here was at SBA.gov and the Learning Center. If you hit all and apply, you'll get the full range of training that they have. How to get the competitive advantage, customer service. And what I like about these training courses is that you can, obviously you can come back to them and, view them again and view and review them over and over again. But then also when you take online training, you don't necessarily need to fill out the verification form. You don't need to fill out the verification form when you take a training class online. You can print the certificate that you get from the SBA's website. Once you complete the training, you click on it and you type in your name and you get a certificate that, you could PDF and, again, submit to the SEAP program. So that's one of the advantages of going through the SBA. So that's pretty much it. So these are pretty much the forms. It's the email and the list of requirements that you need to meet with their target date. SBA's website again has tons of online training. I didn't find any of the physical workshops that I could take via SBA, but the online training was great. SCORE, you can look up, if for all your workshops should not be, all your training should not be online. You should definitely, get out and, network and meet people. And then again, you can find, you can look up the workshops that are near you by the state you're in on SCORE, and I believe the same thing through SBDC. You can find a list of training. You can put in topic, and then you can also see the location. I'm in New York, but I believe that's probably pulled this up because of the cookies on his computer. But SBDC, I believe, is all over the place. I believe they are in pretty much every state. So, there are resources. And I'm telling you, SCORE, SBDC are excellent resources. I think more people should take advantage of those resources. The mentors are great. If you don't get along with one mentor, just request another one. I mean, you can go online, you can schedule appointments. Absolutely amazing. I enjoyed my time there, and I plan to use them more often. So that's pretty much it. Let me sign off now because I know I'm rambling on and on and on.
Yo, what's going on? So I just left the meeting with the business counselor, the business mentor. He didn't want to be recorded. I asked. Older gentleman, actually really knowledgeable. Been doing this for a really long time. But I did ask him about recording and stuff like that. He gave me a crazy look, like, what the hell are you talking about? And definitely not. So I respected his wishes. Didn't record. But we were in there for about an hour. A lot of good information. appealing to other businesses if you're going to be doing like screen printing, are still the same. Just kind of adding a value to them. As a lot of what you talked about, and just kind of helping me through the rest of the SEAP process. So all in all, pretty good. Wasn't a waste of time, but I did go in there with a positive attitude, positive outlook, and really excited to learn as much as I can because this guy's worked with Playtex and Pepsi and some other companies I've never heard of from the 50s, 40s, and actually ran his own. Really excited about the next step, at least of the SEAP process, where I kind of have to fill out some paperwork and stuff like that. So he said he's going to, do it with me and kind of talk me through setting up a corporation and all that kind of stuff. So, really exciting stuff. So right now we get ready to get ready. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pick. It is March the 15th, about 10:54. So you guys know that I am in the SEAP program. If you don't know, I'm in the SEAP program, Self-Employment Assistance Program for displaced workers, those of us who were laid off, in layman's terms. And I just left my second meeting with my mentor. So part of SEAP, they require you to meet with a mentor who is usually a retired business owner. So I chose a mentor through SCORE, and today I had my second meeting and we went over my business plan or my business strategy, went over the numbers and pretty much all the details of getting ready to start the screen printing business. And looks like, according to my mentor's thoughts and opinions as a 40 plus year entrepreneur and CEO, he said I'm ready to go with all the passion and the energy and the focus that I have. He said he there's no reason why he doesn't see the business really taking off. Obviously with hard work, and that means a lot, just because I don't know this man from a can of paint. He has no reason to lie to me. He's not getting paid. He's a volunteer. But, kind of that vote of confidence really, really, really helps as I get ready to go into the last stretch and really make this thing happen. When I started Unfiltered Passion, I really did a lot of the stuff on my own. Hindsight being 2020. Using a resource like SCORE, a resource like SBDC, right, Small Business Development Center, any resource where you could get some help from someone who's been down the path or been down the road of where you're trying to go to. Take your ego out of the way and really just sit down, because even when I first started talking to him, the first time I met with him on February 22nd, I found myself rambling on and kind of jumping all around, and that process of when I was talking to him forced me to kind of really be clear on what I was talking about and what I wanted, what the vision was. So I said that to say, bouncing your idea off someone, there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you'll see holes or areas of improvement, or that your idea is great, and that's perfectly fine. But SCORE, SBDC, business mentors, I'm sure there's other resources where there's people who for free will help you, not just Shark Tank and the profit, because that's not really one-on-one. You really need someone who will hear you out and listen to your ideas and can give you some real guidance. I'm telling you, it'll be worth it. So just wanted to come back and let you know that last step for the SEAP program that I need to do is my last verification for my last 10 hours. But my mentor gave me his email address directly to help with any questions that I might have, anything that might arise, and he will still continue to help me. And SCORE is still available, SBDC is still available even after the SEAP program ends. So I'm super excited about this. I'm super excited about this process.
Little nervous, not gonna lie, but I'm super excited to finally be taking the reins and really going forward on my own, doing my thing. So be back in a few with some more videos about New York SEAP. Drop off my son Drew, and then I have to go to Farmingdale State College for a class for business training. So we're gonna head over there. I think it's the starting your business class that I have to take. Part of New York SEAP, you have to take 20 hours of training. So I'm gonna get this day started. I went to a class last night at SCORE, and it was pitch black out there and it was late, so I didn't get a chance to let you guys know how that went. But after the class today, it's from 9 to 11, then I will let you know what I thought of this class and what I thought of the class last night. So see you guys. So the class I just took, I forgot the name of it. It's like basically a basic business course, business class. And all in all, it was a good class. A lot of information I already knew about from starting Unfiltered Passion, a clothing line. Again, this series is about starting a screen printing business. So a lot of information I already knew about, going over the basics, talking about motivation, not doing what other people think you should do. Make sure, your reasons are you're doing a business that you want to do. Talked about target market, having a niche, not trying to please or not trying to make everyone your customer. Regardless what your business is, there's usually a specific customer that you need to target. Talked about business structure, having a business plan. And again, this information is a lot of the same information from last night. This program today was through SBDC, Small Business Development Center, and last night was through SCORE, which is basically some retired entrepreneurs. So the class last night was a starter class, talking through how to start a business, and really went over the same information: business structure, having a business plan, motivation. So with New York SEAP, in order to be a part of the SEAP program, you have to take 20 hours worth of training. So what I found so far, this is, I think, my second class. What I found so far is it is very hard to find 20 hours worth of training to take by the deadline. My deadline is April 1st, so I pretty much have like a month and like a week or two. And it's hard to find the courses. So this is why I had to double up and take pretty much the same class on 2 different days. But all in all, the instructions are good. The networking aspect of it, I think, is invaluable because, starting the screen printing aspect of the business, everybody else in the class is also starting a business. And guess what they all are going to need? They're all going to need some shirts or screen printing or something like that. So the networking aspect of it is good. Just finding the classes is tedious and, pretty hard. But all in all, I give it a thumbs up. Tomorrow I'm back here, the same place, same location, for business plan writing class. So that's pretty much my take on it for today. All right, so we're out here again. Small Business Development Center. The class I'm taking today is business plan writing. So again, I'll give you guys my review on what I thought of the class, any tidbits I learned, and
if I think it's worth your while. All right, see you guys in. All right, I'm back in the car. Class just ended, and all in all, I thought it was a good class. I think it took away some of the fears or some of the hesitation that one would have when developing a business plan, because when you see that business plan document in full, it seems very intimidating, a lot of sections, a lot to write. So what this class did was pretty much, it was just a 2-hour class, so kind of just walked through the different sections of it, of a business plan. Didn't really, and kind of gave like description. So we talked about, the benefits of a business plan, which are, if you're seeking financing, it's an excellent resource. Actually, it's a necessary resource if you're seeking financing, but also a business plan is good to help keep you or us, the business owner and the person starting the business, on track, taking your ideas, writing them down, and basically constantly going back to it and making sure you're meeting the goals that you set for your business. And then we talked about the different sections of it. There's a cover sheet, there's an executive summary, statement of purpose, pretty much what's the purpose of your business, having a business description where you talk about the business structure, the experience that you would have, the products and services that you plan to offer with your business. And this section is, really brief, just kind of high level. After that, there's a products and services section, which is more detailed, and that's where you go into detail on what your services are. If you're doing screen printing, you're talking about the type of shirt, you're talking about the type of inks, you're talking about different printing techniques, the volume you can do or anticipate doing. You talk about the benefits of using you as a screen printing company. Why would customers buy from you? What's the benefit of buying from you? There's a market analysis section where you go into the demographics, go into who your customers are, your target customers are. Are you going direct to customer? Are you going to be business to business? And then you talk about basically, who are they? If you're going to business, what types of businesses are you going to? Are you going to hotels? Are you looking to target gyms? Are you looking to target small businesses? Are you looking to target big businesses with thousands of employees, or a local business with maybe 10 employees or 100 employees? Then we also talked about the management. There's a section on management, and especially if you're seeking financing, they want to know what your experience is. If you're doing it by yourself, or if you're going to hire somebody, well, what's their experience? What's their resume look like? We also talked about there's a section for operations, and they're going to want to know, where are you located? Are you going to have inventory? Are you going to have trucks? Where are you going to store your product if you're selling a product? And then the financial plan, where you have to go over your startup budget and operation budget. There's a difference between your startup budget, and that's the funds that you need to get the business off the ground, your legal fees, your initial startup costs, and then there's the operational budget, which is, okay, month to month, this is what I have to pay out, whether it's rent and other marketing and other things that you have to pay out. So all in all, a good class. Gave some examples, and then also SBDC is a great resource to use to kind of help you really hone in on some of these pieces. They don't write the business plan for you, but they have a tool called Entree Skills, which they can set you up with, which is an online business writing tool. And then they mentioned another tool called Live Plan, which is I believe it has like a monthly fee, but you can use that also. Or you can find something online and kind of follow that, and you can download stuff. Just type in Google
how to write a business plan. I'm sure there's plenty of examples that are available online. But I also found out, which I didn't, if you are, well, the only way to get into SEAP is you have to be a displaced worker, pretty much laid off. And if you're laid off and you want to start a business, this is pretty much probably the best option that you're going to have, because if you're laid off and need the money, then SEAP is a good alternative, because instead of going through the process of finding a job, looking for a job, going